Hello, and welcome once again to Your Questions. I am Ibrahim K. Asante, your host, and today, with me in the Wahab Adam studios here in Ghana, is Maulvi Shamsuddin Boateng to help us unravel some of the questions that you sent through. Stay with us, and we will help you answer your questions. Thank you. Hello and welcome once again to Your Questions. Here from the Wahab Adam Studios in Ghana, we have an honorable guest, Maulvi Shamsuddin Boateng. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Well, today is the first time we're having Maulvi Shamsuddin Boateng on Your Questions, and we have some interesting questions for him to help us answer. Let's listen to the very first question that is coming through from Uganda.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm Kaire Hafsa from Uganda. My question is, does a woman automatically become divorced when she converts to Islam and her husband remains an atheist? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Well, as the question comes through from Uganda, a woman who is already married to the husband, legally married to a husband, the woman now converts to Islam, but the husband is adamant yet to convert. Does this woman become a divorcee by virtue of the fact that she is converted and the husband hasn't?
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. The concept of marriage has been narrowly treated by some Islamic scholars, which they have no right to do that. They have narrowed Islam and they have narrowed the marriage to just religion, and which marriage, in the institution of marriage, is a broad thing. And Islam accepts the, as you said, any legal marriage. If the person was not a Muslim, anyhow they did it, provided it's not against their culture or wherever the person belongs to. So there is no way that such a person becomes automatically divorced. Let's narrow it down to the companions of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When they accepted Islam, you cannot find it anywhere that the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam forced them to redo their marriage or their wedding, if I should put it that way. And if such marriages are illegitimate, then what happens to their children? These children became scholars of Islam, where we get many ahadith from them. If that is true, as some scholars say, then Islam will be in a great harm and a very big havoc. The Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has taught us some 3 Quran verses that we use when conducting marriage or nikah. And the first verse addresses humanity, that's mankind. And if I should quote it, it says, the Quran says, Ya ayyuhan nasu taqu rabbakum alladhi khalaqakum min nafsin wahida. That is, O ye people, fear your Lord who created you from a single soul. وَخَلَقَ مِنْهَا زَوْجَهَا وَبَثَّ مِنْهُمَا رِجَالًا كَثِيرًا وَنِسَاءً. And from this, from a single soul and of its kind created its mates, and from them spread many men and women. وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ, and fear Allah. وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ الَّذِي تَسَاءَلُونَ بِهِ وَالْأَرْحَامِ, and fear Allah in whose name you appeal to one another. إِنَّ اللَّهَ كَانَ عَلَيْكُمْ رَقِيبًا, and fear Allah, particularly respecting ties of kinship. Verily, Allah watches over you. This addresses to humanity. So that's the beauty of the teachings of Islam. The 3 verses, the first one addresses mankind. That is to tell us that Islam accepts the institution of marriage. It doesn't matter where the person is coming from, whether the person was an atheist, so far as that marriage was legalized and recognized, whether by the state or by the culture that the person belongs to. But the other verses, that one addresses the other verses address Muslims because it is believed that as a Muslim you have to go beyond this, the first verse. Another thing that we have to also look at is the life of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam himself. He lived in two phases. His life was in two phases. One was in war and the other one was in peace. He was persecuted 13 years in Mecca. And when he claimed to be the prophet, that time at the age of 40, his daughters were already married. But it never happened that when the daughters accepted him as a prophet, it never happened that he told them to divorce their husbands and then come to him or go wherever they would like to be. But it was the Meccans, the idolaters themselves, that instituted this, and they started it. That so far as any woman, when any woman embraces Islam, that person is automatically divorced. The family will force the man to divorce the person, but this initially was not the stand of Islam. And besides, when the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam migrated to Medina, one of the daughter's husband embraced Islam again. And the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not reorganize the nikah, you see. So that is to tell us that Islam accepts that institution. But what the Quran draws our attention to, where it says that the married women of the idolaters, when they accept Islam, they should not be returned to them, is because of what they started. And so already the person is claiming that if a woman accepts Islam, you are automatically divorced. If the Muslims are to return that lady to that person, what would the woman face? It will be persecution, maltreatment, and a whole lot. So that's why the Holy Quran tells us that we should not return the woman to them. Already they have established that. So they were made to experience what they had started, but not that of Islam. Apart from that, Islam, the teachings of Islam is firmly established on the no compulsion in religion. So if the man does not interfere in the woman's practices, Islam does not, it is okay, and we do not also interfere in their marriages. We should know that Islam is a missionary religion, and it is preaching and tabligh that spreads Islam. If this becomes our teachings, then...
Is it not by sword?
No, Islam has never been spread by the sword.
But that's the popular notion, that Islam is spread by the sword, and if you will not be a Muslim, then you're as good as dead.
No, that is what the perception that they have, and which is really wrong, because they have not really studied the religion of Islam. And as I was saying, that Islam is a missionary religion that we preach, and then based on preaching and the truthfulness of Islam and its prophets, and then the teaching, the beauty of its teaching, people embrace it. So if we believe this, that a woman is automatically divorced, then what will become of Islam? Wherever Islam enters will cause mayhem and havoc everywhere. And this, nobody will accept Islam if that is the case. And we should also know that Islam actually accepts family institution, the establishment of unity. And one of the main objectives of marriage is to establish the union, companionship. And if Islam is to break marriages like this, then who in his right sense will like to join such a religion? For instance, if an old person, somebody who has been married for 40 years, at the age of 60, and then the person accepts Islam, and you tell the person to automatically divorce his husband, where the person might be having many grandchildren, then it will cause a lot of troubles. So as I stated, if the man does not interfere, then there's no problem at all. The person can go on and live with the husband. But if the husband interferes, that's where the problem comes. So, for instance, if the person has become a Muslim, there are some things that we don't do. We have our principles, we have our teachings.
Like what?
Like praying. There are some things we don't take.
You don't pray?
So let's say if somebody has accepted Islam and the person wants to pray and the husband is not allowing the person, that's where the problem will be, because you are infringing upon the rights, the freedom of worship of the lady.
But is it the same case if a Muslim man happens to, the woman happens to become a Christian and then wants to pray, and the Muslim man is also refusing to let her go for her worship? Is it the same?
That's why I stressed on the teaching of Islam, and then also established the fact that the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam I took from his personal life, and then brought in the companions, and also the Quranic teachings that speaks on the institution of marriage and the unity. So if the person, based on her own belief or her own understanding, has also reverted or has left your religion, there is no way you force the person to also come and accept Islam. As the fourth Khalifa, rahimahullah, he said that the swords can win territories, but not hearts. You see, so if you want to force the person, probably physically, the person might follow your teachings, but inside the heart, inwardly, the person might not be a true believer of your religion. So it's never the stand of Islam, or it has never been the teachings of Islam, especially Jamaat Ahmadiyya, that when a Muslim, a lady accepts Islam, then the person automatically divorces the husband. It's actually happening in the other sects, and we don't know where they got that teachings from, because this has never been the practice of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's why initially I said they have just narrowed the institution of marriage to religion, and they have treated marriage badly, and they have no right to do that.
They have no right to do that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your question coming to you from the Wahab Adam Studios here in Ghana. Please keep your questions coming through, recorded video, what have you, to africa@mta.tv. Don't change the dial, and let's go straight into the next question. With me in the studio is Mulvi Shamsuddin Boateng to answer your questions for today. Now let's pick the next question from Ghana.
My name is Abdurrahman Ajiman. I'm from Ghana, Accra to be specific. My question is if Islam permits abortion, and if so, what are the conditions under which one can undertake an abortion?
Well, the questioner is asking if Islam permits abortion. I was wondering if he wants some permission to go and do that, but well, it's a question, it's a genuine question, and he desperately needs an answer. Does Islam permit abortion? And if so, under what conditions?
Islam does not automatically rule out abortion, but it has conditions. And
so it permits abortion?
Yes, under a condition, which I'll come to that.
Well, you are opening the floodgates, and everybody saying my condition is a condition. Well, I'm eager to know which conditions.
Yes, I'll come to
and my audience too, I'm sure, are eager to know.
I will come to that condition. And the truth of the matter is all religions actually forbids abortion. That's if it doesn't have any reason, just because you just want to terminate the abortion, and then you terminate it. Actually, even in Ghana...
Mostly you say it's economic reasons. I may not be able to take care of the baby.
Actually, even in Ghana, our constitution is against our constitution just to get up and go for abortion without medical reasons. So that's the reason Islam also testified to, that if the baby will be a problem to the mother, that's where Islam permits.
What kind of problem are we talking about?
Because sometimes it happens that if sometimes the development of the baby, it doesn't go into the womb. It develops in the fallopian tube.
Like ectopic pregnancies.
Like ectopic pregnancies. So when it happens like that, if care is not taken, the life of the mother will be at stake. So here we look at it. Which life is more important? Because that one is developing and the mother has lived. And we know that if per Allah's chance or by the grace of Allah, the person can deliver again. But so medically, they always advise that the fetus is aborted and then the life of the mother is saved. So when it's like this, then Islam permits you to abort the baby because always we sacrifice the higher life and the most important thing to that of the weaker one. Nobody will want to let the woman die, the wife die, just because already the fetus has not even developed in some cases. So how sure are you that this fetus will even be okay? Or
so
develop?
Is it a permission to kill?
I said on condition. But I also said that Islam does not generally allow abortion. And actually all religions, because it's crime and it's killing. That's why I brought the Ghana constitution. I'm in Ghana, so it's Ghana that I can use as an example. Just without any reason, performing abortion is a crime.
But the young man would say that I'm not in the position to look after this woman and the unborn child, so that's a good economic reason why I should perform abortion with that poor lady.
Islamically, that
God forbid.
cannot be accepted. And because the Holy Quran is specific and has told us we shouldn't just kill our children just because of, as you stated, for economic reasons. Well, the fact of the matter is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who takes care of humanity. And it's not we just live and everything is done by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the food we eat, even the air we breathe. You did not come to this earth on your own right, so you have no right to take a life. That's why even it's not in us. I'll also use Ghana as an example. It's your own life. If you are frustrated, you cannot say because I'm frustrated, so I want to hang myself. It's a crime against the Constitution. If in the process you are caught, you'll be punished and sent to prison for that reason. So in the same thing applies to abortion. You cannot just use economic reason to abort a baby. If you are not ready for that, then the best thing is you better stay away from something that will cause pregnancy.
Maulvi Shamsuddin Boateng is telling us that Islam generally does not permit abortion except it's for medical condition which may put the mother's life at stake. Please keep your questions coming through africa@mta.tv and don't change the dial. We are here on the Your Questions show. Now let's listen to the next question coming all the way from Uganda.
Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Kaikara Mansura from Uganda, and my question is an Ahmadi Muslim permitted to marry a non-Ahmadi Muslim? And what guidance does Islam provide to a Muslim man who marries a non-Muslim woman?
Ahmadi Muslims, are you permitted to marry non-Ahmadi Muslims, Christians, Jews, Hebrew, Buddhists, atheists? Are you permitted to marry any of them at all or none? What's the situation, Maulvi Shamsuddin Boateng?
If somebody is going in for marriage, thus I said marriage is a very broad institution. If the purpose of the marriage is for the beauty, and then after having that woman, what's next? So if it's about wealth, and then after having that woman, what's next? For instance, if somebody wants to be praised because the person is doing a very good act, and then the person is praised, then after that, what's next? The teaching of Islam is the focal point here. What does the Holy Quran say? what did the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam say? And then what did the promised Messiah alayhi salam also say? And what's the Khulafa also saying? The Quran has been specific, and then I will go to that. The Quran says, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ولا تنكحوا المشركات حتى يؤمن, and marry not idolatrous women until they believe. ولا أمة مؤمنة خير من مشركة. Thus, even a believing bondwoman is better than an idolatress. وَلَوْ أَعْجَبَتْكُمْ, though she may highly please you. وَلَا تُنْكِحُوا الْمُشْرِكِينَ حَتَّى يُؤْمِنُوا, and give not believing women in marriage to idolaters. حَتَّى وَلَا عَبْدٌ مُؤْمِنٌ خَيْرٌ مِّن مُشْرِكٍ. Thus, it says even a believing slave is better than an idolater. وَلَوْ أَعْجَبَتْكُمْ, although he may highly please you. أُولَٰئِكَ يَدْعُونَ إِلَى النَّارِ. All these things call to the fire. وَاللَّهُ يَدْعُو إِلَى الْجَنَّةِ وَالْمَغْفِرَةِ. Whilst Allah calls you to heaven, and to forgiveness by His command. وَيُبَيِّنُ آيَاتِهِ لِلنَّاسِ لَعَلَّهُمْ يَتَذَكَّرُونَ. And He makes His signs clear to the people that they may remember. So the Holy Quran is specific here that so far as the person is not a Muslim, the person is an idolater, then there's no right that you give your daughters or even your sons in marriage to such a person until the person accepts and embraces Islam. And then the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam also established the reasons why some people may go into marriage, that it could be out for beauty or wealth or family status or religion. And then he emphasized on the need to go in for religion. He says, فَاظْفَرْ بِذَاتِ الدِّينِ, you should concentrate on religion. If you do not do that, then tarabat yadaka, then your hand will be in dust. So, if you marry outside religion, it causes a lot of problems. Thus, it causes a lot of confusion, especially when it comes to the children. When choosing faith, sometimes the man is pulling the kid, the children, the woman is also pulling the children to their side.
That's quite good, because they will have the best of both worlds. Don't you think so?
No, not actually, because it's just like, for instance, if you have a car, let's say a V8 car, and then you decide to buy, the tires have a problem, and you decide to buy a smaller car's tire for that your V8. It will not match. It will not move. Or let's say the engine has a problem, and you decide the Toyota engine has a problem, and you bring a different car, a very smaller car's engine. It will not fix. So the same thing applies to marriage. Sometimes the problem comes when issue arises. The woman will want the clergy to come and solve the issue. The same thing, the man will sometimes also prefer his clergy or his religious personality to sit on the issue. Sometimes what happens is either one of them will not accord the kind of respect that a religious leader might or is supposed to have. And this also causes a lot of problems, especially, but the one who loses more is usually the Muslims who go outside, the Muslims that go outside.
What do you mean by that? I mean, what is the loss there?
The issue is, let's say, especially the Muslim man, if you go in for a Christian or an atheist, a non-Muslim, what happens, man, you are usually outside getting something for the family. The women, the children are usually closer to the women, and the person is easier for the woman to imbibe her teachings into the children.
More or less influence
the children. And even beside that, there are a lot of things that we Muslims do not do. There are a lot of meats that is not allowed for a Muslim to take. So if it becomes like that, the woman can just prepare anything, and you have no right to question her, because you went in for for her, and you cannot say because you are a Muslim, so she shouldn't prepare what she likes.
But will this not pass for discrimination?
No, that's why
favoring Muslim women
Yes.
for the Muslim men,
Yes.
and discouraging non-Muslim from marrying Muslims.
Yes, it is good for the peace of the home, and then even the peace of your own mental health. Because if you always, whenever you come home, there is always dispute between the two of you, mostly on religious basis. This will not be a peaceful marriage, and usually it causes a lot of problems, as I stated already. There are a lot of issues amongst such people, and there are even a lot of people who have gone into that, and they will always advise you that never ever do such a thing.
But obviously, there are also very beautiful examples where people who are Muslims have married non-Muslims and lived harmoniously, and their children have grown harmoniously, some becoming Muslims, some becoming Christians, or other faith.
The issue here is
it not accepted by Islam?
The concentration is on Islam. You see, if the woman is joining your faith, that the person is becoming a Muslim, then that one is allowed. But you said there are people, but what's the percentage? In Ghana, I'm not sure it's even up to 1%, those who went into such marriages. It will not be up to 1%.
Well, I don't have the data to that
so
effect.
It's very few people that are able to do that.
But one may argue that they may be part of the few, so they should be left alone to enjoy their relationship.
No, that will be going against the institution of Jamaat Ahmadiyyat, that the promised Messiah alayhi salam that you believe in to be the Messiah, a prophet that was prophesied to come in the latter days, and the person has given you a directive and is encouraging you to marry within, and you are going out. Then that means you are not being obedient to...
But is it a sin? Because in the second chapter of the Quran, it says that be you a Christian, a Jew, or a Serbian, if you do what is right, no fear shall come upon you, nor shall you grieve. And that the people of the book can be married. That's the Christians and the Jews.
That is if the people of the book. Now, the people, you cannot specifically refer to the Christians, because as the Quran stated, the number of associating partners with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Let's see Christianity. What is their fundamental belief now?
There are about differences in the Christian fold. Some believe Jesus is God, some believe Jesus is not God. Some believe Jesus is the Son of God. Some believe there are array of them.
So in order to just
like in Islam, we have over 70
You see, in order to just end this issue, and so that you will not have problem, you have to, and you see, the promised Messiah alayhi salam was prophesied to come in order to establish the true teachings of Islam and then interpret the Holy Quran to the best as the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam brought. The Jamaat has a principle that if the woman will accept to be an Ahmadi, then that one, there's no problem with it.
What if they still want to be Christians or Jews?
That one will give you 6 months.
To do what?
If the person accepts to be a Muslim. So that, to check that if it's not based on just because of marrying the person, that's why you are accepting.
What if the person still wants to be a Christian? Do we say no?
See, we cannot force you to do what you want to do. But there's always consequences. That's why I stated that the percentage is very minimal.
Well, that is all time could permit us. Please make a date with us once again on your questions and enjoy the answers to the questions that you send through. Keep your questions coming through africa@mta.tv. Make a date with us next time. God be with you. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you.